Hi, this is Danny Lewis, and you're listening to the track that I've got on Just Underground Recordings, which is called I Know You're There. And this is going to be a brief deconstruction video, taking a look at the elements in the track. You're listening to the pre-master, and the finished version was mastered by Stuart Kettridge of SE Studios. And let's take a look at the elements. I think probably one of the first things that anybody's going to be interested in, and I've just noticed the automation is off there, but this is a brass riff, which is pretty much the main hook, synth brass, and let me just solo again, and this is using the cool Triton MMG brass patch. I love this patch, using it a lot, and you can see what's going on here. There's a ladder filter here, which is at certain points it's filtered, so it's a low pass filter. Let me just see if I can show you the section there, and you can hear it. Have a listen at the beginning. So that's on the intro, just to create a sense of a build-up. And this is the Kilohertz company. They do the plugins that come as part of the Slate digital bundle, which is something that I subscribe to. Going through Native Instruments replica for some delay, bit of compression, the VX console for my SSL sound. I have no idea why I placed it there in the chain. EQ, cutting here to avoid some clashes with the bass. Then running through the lustrous plates, something else I really like the sound of for some reverb. And then going through this Ableton Live Max for Live device, which is this tape simulator, cassette tape. And I used that before on another track. Right, what else we have? Let's keep it with the musical elements. Let's get onto the string machine here. Once again, Triton. Very much used, and I'm glad because it cost some decent money. So there's a string pad, another one over here. Okay, M1, Korg M1, the wine pad, which I use a lot. Some EQ, and then some sidechain compression, and that's where the piano as well here. Cool Triton piano patch. 90s piano, which is pretty apt really. Going through Soundtoys Echo Boy, and the organ, actually that's a nice one to bring in on the offbeat. Jazz rotary patch. Let's take all the, well, let's bring the beats back. I need to talk about the bass, and I had some real problems with this. I wanted basically to have a kind of like a live sounding electric bass. So I started off with that, and this was coming out of Kontakt, the bass. I like that. I like the time. I actually exported the track as a pre-master, sent it to Stuart, and he was like, whoa, there's really not much bass here. And you can see here I have low cut, right? I'm going to take the low cut off. So that's how it was originally. But compared to my other tracks, and Stuart knows my music, there was a real lack in bass, like sub bass really. So I thought, what can I do? And so I then added a copy using an operator with a slightly slower attack here, and with some sidechain from the kick. So actually what's happening is the other bass is not being sidechained, but this one is. Okay, so that's to create a clean bottom end. So there we go. So you got a warmer, fatter bass line that still sounds quite electric as opposed to synthesized. Usual kind of resonant sweep sound. This particular one's coming from the Helion Sonic 3, which is still a workhorse that I'm using all the time. A couple of other sweeps from Triton, and now a vocal. And I've got this stop-start kind of thing going on here. I use this kind of technique a lot. Edits on the drums, stopping and starting, almost like a DJ with a crossfader. And then there's a section actually that comes in after this kind of chorusy type bit. It's almost like a middle eight. So a very cheesy sounding saxophone sound, deliberately so. Sax ensemble. And then a spoken word vocal we've just heard. With some automation on the vocal there, just to give it a sense of a transition from that vocal into the next section. And here's a breakdown. I'll show you what I've done with the vocal actually. CMX for stereo width. And by the way, I do have a registered version. I just can't find my key anyway. But you can use it for free anyway, but I did pay for that. Then there's a virtual mix rack. Slate bundle. Takes a bit of time to load here. That's a chain. It's the airy vocal preset, but I've tweaked that. Then running into an insert verb suite. There's some space around it. No idea why utility is used. SSLG series again, to give it that kind of old analog style console vibe. And so you can see here in this breakdown there are some elements that are being used to build up to when everything comes back, of course. And the brass synth is being filtered. So long sustained notes, vocal being echoed off into the distance. These notes are adding that tension, the build. Yes, that's about it. Look, master, really nothing going on here other than just the BX console sitting here. And that's bringing the summing together of all the individual versions of the plugins. So I've got the BX console running on every single plugin. Sorry, on every single channel. And then that last one on the master just sums it up. I've reduced the overall gain by about -2 because I needed to give Stuart plenty of headroom. And by the way, this is quite a heavy project. You can see that it's glitching about 70 or so. I'm at the highest buffer size. And my poor old Mac is definitely old. So it's 2013 Mac. But it's still hanging in there. So anyway, that's it. It's up on Spotify streaming platforms, etc. And it's still on sale at TrackSource. And if you do have any questions, put them down. I don't have tons of time, so I may not be able to respond. But anyway, hope everyone's well.